celebration of her life. She's such an inspiration for everyone. So we hope to continue that inspiration for everyone. Now everyone together. Yeah? You just follow along. We call in the highest heaven and continue. I don't need a mic. He'll give me. Okay, let's all open the heavens together. Oh, Great Spirit, your breath fills us. Here is the sun that nurtures everything that is.
This melody is oh Oreo. Giving thanks to Creator for all of our many gifts.
Thank you. Aloha one another.
My name is Suzanne Cameron Stover, and I was a minister, well, I still am, you never outgrow that, for Unity Church years ago. And I remember so well when Les and Elaine used to come to church. Yes, they did. And they would bring, guess who? Snickers and Lily. For those of you who've been to their house, you have known that they're so much a part of the family. And so Snickers and Lily and Les and then Elaine would all sit in a row. Each dog would have his and her own chair. And I just look forward to seeing them so much, and they've been friends ever since, and still are. And Les is talking right now, but I want to honor Les as Elaine's partner for all these years. Yay, let's give it up. Thank you, Les. I would like to honor Elaine Fouché Valois is her full name, our friend, our teacher, a dancer, a counselor, a wife, a mother to Rick and Kathy, a chef divine, a goddess, really, and a spiritual woman, a spirit woman in every way. What I'd like to do now is to introduce to you the family that have come all this way. Rick, her son, is far back in Montana, and would like to introduce April and Tim and Beth and Ella. Beth, would you all stand? Could you just stand for me a minute? And you'll hear more from them, especially April. But April and Beth and Ella are, starting with Beth as Elaine's niece, and then Ella being the great-great-niece, and then April, who is her niece, and then Tim, who is married and married to April. And so I just welcome you here today also. And I would like to call up April, if you could come and just speak to us a little bit. You'll hear from the others later on, but it'd be wonderful to hear from you now. Here you go.
Now I have to face the microphone challenge. I'm not that experienced behind a microphone, honestly. So this is odd. But more than anything, this whole morning and the whole lead up to this has been unbelievably moving. Elaine's been in my life since I was born. She's known me, she's come in and out of my life, and I've come in and out of hers. And it still feels strange that she's not here. In fact, I feel her here now. I've been looking at photos. I've been moving through her things. And I just feel her with me, laughing, scolding, cheering on, encouraging, reminding me to dance and laugh. And I forget often. So I bring that forward for all of us, that we're here to dance and laugh. This space in the middle, as you can imagine, is the field of dance that we've left for Elaine. And it's her invitation that we all step into it at some point this afternoon and evening. We're soon going to begin with her actual dance students. There are lovely dance students here. Susan McMahon and Cynthia have known her since childhood, 7 years old and 10 years old respectively, when they started dancing with her. So there's a kind of lineage of dance flowing through the day. and Susan Hedler and Liz Law and Philip. I can't see where you are, but maybe you could kind of stand up. Maybe there you are. You'll see them all because they're going to step out here very soon. I had nothing prepared to say today except mahalo. Thank you to everybody who's here today, who's here in spirit and in the body, who's sending their love from a distance and from close up. I'm so grateful, especially to those who put their heart and soul into organizing the event. Okay, I'm going to cry again. I know that's all of you channeling a lot of Elaine too, and what she modeled and what she gave so generously of herself, that you all give so freely now. And it's overwhelming and beautiful and inspiring and nourishing. And speaking of nourishing, food. Elaine loved food. She loved food. She loved gardening, dancing, loving, adventuring. I mean, she was amazing. We can't even go into all of it. We've got some photos up to show some of that. But she loved to feed people good food. And so Karen, the lovely Karen Mavek, has organized all the delicious food. Karen's here, big. And I'm going to ask Karen to come up later and thank all of the individual caterers who, I can't remember all their names, but they're amazing. So we'll eat after some dancing and singing, we'll share food together. And we'll have a blessing before that, so that's coming. Tiny housekeeping. Karen's organized amazing composting, recycling, garbage over to the side, so please pay attention to that. That was so close to Elaine's heart. She was the first person to recycle in Toledo in 1971, before it was even a movement. So we're honoring her in that too. I'm probably forgetting something, but I think I'm feeling like my legs wiggling and my toes tapping, and it's time to dance. So I'm going to introduce Cynthia, longtime dance student of Elaine, to come up and share a little bit about the dance that she's going to share.
Whoa. This is for tall people. Hello and aloha to everyone. We would like to invite you to participate in our dance ritual today, dedicated to our beautiful Elaine, aka Laney. So please take a deep breath together. Oh, not yet. Let's do that over. Let's take a deep breath together. Take a moment to see Elaine in your mind's eye. Feel the love and appreciation you have for her. Drop this energy into your heart and send it up and out in all directions. Send it collectively to Elaine. Elaine, we love you and release you to your next great adventure. And by the way, we'll be starting from the back of the room. Mahalo.
Earth Choir and your sacred self.
Aloha. Sing that again. Aloha. I just want to share that Les and Elaine were really big supporters of the choir through many years. And I don't know how many of you know this, but Elaine and I really connected because I started out in life as a ballet dancer. And so it's been so fun meeting some of the dancers that are here, and especially Phil, who just danced, because I just found out a few days ago that we actually danced the same pieces in Toronto. I'm Canadian, and we actually danced some of the same pieces back there in our former life. So there's so many weavings. We are coming now into the beautiful power of Palelo, of the language of these islands, where Elaine and Les lived for so long. So this is a very short chant that sends a blessing out and sends care and protection out. And I want you to intentionally choose where you want this blessing to go, where you want this protection and this care to go as we sing this chant. And try these words just so you can feel them in your body. Ho'o mai ka'i mai. Ho'o mai ka'i mai. E malama mai. E malama mai. Ho'o mai ka'i mai. Ho'o mai ka'i mai. E malama mai. E malama mai. This is the blessing and the protection. Oh, my God,
just share a few stories and a few thoughts, especially from my mom, whose name is Beth Hawks, but she was originally Mary Beth Frucci, and she knew Elaine her whole life. So Elaine was 19 when my mom was born.
Well, I have to say, I was looking for the box of Kleenex. We brought Kleenex, right? We bought 4 boxes of Kleenex. You think I could find one in the beginning of this whole thing when my face was streaming? And my goodness, the dancers and the songs and the music and the sense of watching Elaine's images, been quite overcome. And I want to say that it's not that easy to shift into the realm of words after all that beauty and feeling. But my job here is to sort of invoke Elaine's embodied life and where she came from on this planet and how she moved into this realm. So aware at the very beginning when this whole event began, how Earth honoring it is. And Elaine had a quality of connecting spirit, earth, and body that was deeply inspiring. And so I will tell you a few things about where she came from. I know some of you already know a bit about it. But Elaine was born in 1938, a long time ago. She was 5 when the original King Kong hit the screens. She was only 10 when Gone with the Wind hit the little local state theater, and The Wizard of Oz as well. So that sort of places her a bit in time. But in the land that she was born into, she was born in a little town called Napoleon, Ohio, in the northern warm regions, a prosperous farming region close to Indiana. And I was born in the same place as was my father, and we all sort of flourished in those beautiful green leafy streets, and the fields beyond were fields of corn and soybeans and alfalfa, as they still are. And it was a blessed place to come from, to be able to form your container for life. It was a land of food and tradition and people coming from afar, in Northern Europe, mostly settlers from France and Germany. In addition to the farming and the passion for life that they brought with them, they also brought food, art, and social values such as tolerance and love, brought into the little town environment that felt very big, even though it was very small. Elaine also came in with fierce courage and independence, something that was characteristic of the people of that time as well. She was always a seeker, deeply curious, pushing back on rules of conventional social life, as you probably remember, learning to embody the power and vitality that she admired of her 2 older brothers. And she was small. And, you know, she was small in stature, but she was not small in any other way. In case you didn't notice. This looks like a much longer speech than it actually is. And I'll pick up the pace. Elaine never stopped pushing against the status quo, whatever it was, in favor of new horizons of learning and self-discovery, forging her creative powers. Always a lover of animals, she also became a passionate gardener and a cook, as you well know, especially in the traditions of France. She and my Uncle Richard, Elaine's first husband, often cooked and gardened together, gathering generating celebrations and hosting family, full of French flair and elegant cuisine. It was rich in bounty, even then in its small town form. It was there that I tasted my first snail and garlic butter, and raw oysters on the half shell. And no surprise that Elaine and Dick's house was where I tasted my first glass of cold champagne. These things were inspired by their times in France when they went to Paris as a young couple, and Elaine studied there at the Sorbonne. This would eventually inspire my year that I lived there in 67, 68, when I was there for the big 60s revolution, blood in the streets and barricades and cars on fire. And April, my daughter April, would later return in 88, 89 for her own experience in Paris, and was there for not only the bicentennial of the French Revolution, but the downing of the Berlin Wall that same year. So Elaine was 19 the year I was born, as April mentioned, and her beauty and dynamism made a powerful impression on me right from the beginning. And alongside of the love, care, and playfulness of my own young parents, whom I adored, they were helping me build my own foundation for life, but Elaine was often there pointing toward new horizons. My feisty young aunt, always looking out to the horizon and saying, keep going. So much more to find, so much more to be discovered. And I remember really well the young family years in Toledo, where some people here originally hail from. My cousins, Kathy and Rick, who would develop their own unique skills as adventurers. Kathy danced her way and partnered with a rock and roll musician, and her son Rick would head west, eventually on horseback, to make an independent life under the big skies of Montana. So the Forerunners, I think many of you may be aware of the famous New Year's brunches that happened at their house, but I don't know if you know that the forerunners of those wonderful celebrations were the annual Bastille Day barbecues that Elaine and Uncle Dick would create in their house in Toledo, with luxurious food, enthusiastic drinking, and fireworks at the end. In the American style, freedom and independence were in the air always, but there was also self-responsibility, creativity, and generosity of heart. Elaine would teach us all that our own gifts are not meant for ourselves alone. So I conclude here with a random list, a modest list of gifts that I received from my Aunt Elaine during her bountiful life. Perhaps you have your own list that you will always remember as well. The meaningfulness of it all continues to ripen like the contents of a well-tended garden or the symphony of flavors in a beautifully made meal. So here is a small list of gifts from Aunt Elaine. Always an interested and curious ear for my questions, from childhood into retirement and aging. My first book of stories of Edgar Allan Poe, which frightened and excited me because they talked about both life and death. She would ask me to help in the kitchen when preparing meals and celebrations, and I learned how fun it can all be to do that work together. She gave me my first LP recordings of soul-stirring music, classical and modern, that I would play at high volume in my bedroom throughout my adolescence. She would tell me many stories about the mysteries and power of art. She would honor my own risk-taking, but also respect my shy hesitations, demonstrating the effort required for meaningful creative work and how it's always worth it. The value of speaking truth to power, and that it's eventually easier to ask for forgiveness than for permission. Demonstrating that our power lives in the spaces between us. And finally, if in doubt, dance. Here's to Elaine. She's here. Thank you.
There's a period of time when Elaine was the head of a marvelous company. I don't know what happened, but it was certainly exciting for a moment. Woohoo! All right, group. Yes. This is the Ohio contingency. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, I think I might have to
Okay.
Oh, she wants to make her departure. Thank you. Well, as she said, we're the Ohio contingency, although we're spread out all over. I live in California. We have 2 West Coasters, Oregon, Washington, Phil from Toronto. And we danced with Elaine in her company, Valois, a company of dancers, about 40-some years ago. But I have to start with my childhood, because I met Elaine when I was 9 years old. She thought I was 7. She always says I'm 7, but I was a scrawny little kid, so I was 9. At the Mommy School of Ballet, and I was explained that Mommy was about 10 miles from Napoleon, Ohio, another small northwestern Ohio town. I took dance there, and Cynthia Beck, Cynthia, step forward. Cynthia also studied at the Mommy School of Ballet. What I will tell you is this was not traditional ballet. This was the beginnings of modern dance, but she snuck it in. You had to call it ballet in those days. So that's like chapter 1 for me. You can add anything if you let me know. She'll poke me. Chapter 2 is knowing Elaine's son, Rick, at the horse barn. So when I was from junior high on through high school, we boarded our horses because we lived in town. We met Rick Valois, quite the character, who wanted to be a cowboy. He did kind of become a cowboy. My first dance concert, because Elaine would come over and pick up Rick, because he didn't drive yet. So she would tell us about her dance concerts. So I saw my first modern dance concert when I was in 8th grade, Apes and Angels. And that was, I think, pre-Tommy. So just a little blurb about chapter 2 about high school is, my sister dated Rick first. I always got the hand-me-downs. She was 2 years older. She was mad at him. So she said, just take my little sister to a school play. So we come back holding hands. And Rick was I was really naive. Rick was my first boyfriend, didn't go very far, but, fond memories. And by the way, Rick looks a lot like Elaine. So chapter 2, Chapter 3, when I first started college, Elaine was on sabbatical, studying some incredible culture, trance dance, ceremonial ritual dance. And Elaine is the first one that taught me about ritual dance, dance as spirit. Before that, I just thought, dance is presentational. So we had our dance company. All of us here were at the dance company. At the same time, we got to know each other really well because we got to roll on the floor together, body over body, do improvs in the student union. Well, we still do that. A little more slowly. Anybody want to add to the college experience there? Okay, anyway, this is a reunion for us. It's a celebration of our most incredible mentor, but it's a reunion of people that have been connected. Because of Elaine, so many of us spread out all over the country are still connected. So that's chapter 3. Chapter 4 is kind of short, but it's not, because it's most of my adulthood. Elaine, okay, I'm going to try to keep it together. Elaine was at the birth of my daughter. It was a home birth with 2 midwives. And she came out, she was living in Ojai, California. She came up to help me and said my house had to be organized because we were going to have, she's like, I had no clue. I was like, oh, I'm going to raise a kid, okay. That was an incredible ritual. And what happened is the night of my due date, and I'm never on time, Elaine said, she goes, I think it's time now. Well, within 3 hours, I went into labor. So, Elaine, you're always telling me what to do. On a more serious and more recent note for me is that, I'm going to try. Elaine and I both lost daughters who were in their 30s. So we went through joy, tragedy, dance, just amazing things together. So, Elaine, I'm not going to share it today, Elaine wrote me the most incredible letter acknowledging that she, in the spirit world, would meet my daughter and they would know each other, maybe not by name or wouldn't look the same, but they would know each other. So I think Elaine and my daughter Jocelyn are dancing somewhere in another realm. So, but not to bring anything down. This has been a very, very joyful time for us, and I think that's what Elaine would want. So I'm just going to close with one thing that Elaine told me that I'm going to try to use. So evidently at one of Elaine's more recent workshops, somebody told her she was old. Well, she said, no, I'm not old. I'm ancient. So next time somebody says I'm old, I'm going to, no, I'm ancient.
Thank you, Susan. Forever. Yeah, Susan, thank you. Yes, Susan and I have known each other forever. We were college roommates. We had a dance company, and we've done all kinds of things together. But I'll be brief because the gift that Elaine gave me is all the pieces I choreograph have this deep spiritual meaning, just always. So thank you, Elaine, for all that.
Wow. I don't think I could be briefer than that. Thank you, Cynthia. I'm Philip. Thank you for sharing, everyone, in your own way, being here today. My experience with Elaine was so transformative, and I think that she did that in many people's lives in many different ways. And that's, to me, the thing that's the most resounding thing about my recollection of where I came from to where I am now. She was able to see something in people that they had no idea was there. And I was just a pre-med student, 19 years old at University of Toledo, and she said, you're going to be a dancer. And like, what? No way. But it happened. It happened, and no one would have believed it, especially my parents and also me. But it did happen, and it's thanks to Elaine's insight and how she saw the creative spirit in others, and she brought that from her realm of experiences to each and every person that I know, and the ones that I don't know, I can see that affects them too. So I just wanted to say thank you, Elaine, for that, and I'll be forever thankful.
I feel like we're going on and on. It was a thrill to grow up dancing with Elaine and to just experience a whole new way of living through dance and to realize that the embodied life was really the only way. That was how we need to be in this time. So there are so many lessons, and I'm grateful. I'm from a huge family, and probably 6 or 7 of us danced with her at some point, and plenty of stories, but they are all here today, and so many other dancers that we've talked to. Since her passing, it has brought so many of us together. So this weaving of this web is continuing on and on with more and more lovely people. So thank you for carrying this and sharing it.
Thank you to all the Ohio dancers. I am not an Ohio dancer. I was one of Elaine's dance students right here on Kauai. My name is Kim Ione, or Kione. And I had the pleasure of having Elaine and Les embrace me and take me in as their Hanai daughter. So for 25 years almost, they were my Hanai parents, and it was such a blessing. And I'm not telling you anything that you don't know, but she was, as a mother figure, so supportive and so loving and always present and there for me. And I'm so happy to see all of you here celebrating her, and I want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Blessings to you all, and we love you so much, Lainey. Mahalo.
In Hawaiian, you all know the word kupuna. It's made of 2 parts. A lot of people don't know this part. Ku is upright and steadfast, and puna is a spring. So I was talking about Elaine the other day, and I told someone that Elaine is a still ever-flowing fountain of a spring of champagne. And from whatever realm she reigns, she's still overflowing.
I just want to say we have been all blessed to know this beautiful woman who danced into our life, who shared her laughter and all her spirit. And this community was blessed. I loved hearing the stories when she was younger and with her family in Ohio. I love seeing the dancers that were with her for the last 30, 40 years. I remember taking an imaginal dance class with her up at the Yurt, up off of Kahuna Road in 2007. I was also part of Les and Elaine's Monday night spiritual movie nights and the potluck. And I was very fortunate to be part of the New Year's Eve lunch brunch. Yay. And we had the last couple there at the Taro Patch. I feel blessed. I haven't seen a lot of these people and friends and family and community in, oh my gosh, 8 years, 12 years, 14 years. I feel blessed. And as people tell their stories about Elaine, I feel we all have a little spark of Elaine in love, every one of us. And there have been moments where I feel her love filled this building. She was such a beautiful blessing. She still is a beautiful spirit, and she's larger than life.
You work and work for years and years. You're always on the go. You never take a moment off. Too busy making dough. Someday you'll say you'll have your fun when you're a millionaire. Imagine all the fun you'll have in your old rocking chair. Enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Enjoy yourself while you're still in the pink. The years go by as quickly as a wink. Enjoy yourself, enjoy yourself. It's later than you think.
Tell you Brasilia.